what's going on, everybody? The almost full
color. Now we have a new name.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? The almost in full color crew is back together for another podcast. First up, we got the Stream King, the Pokemon Master Terry down there. How's it going today there?
Just gonna do this again. This worked great last time, so.
Alright, everyone don't mind Terry. He's not feeling all that well. So he's not gonna be his normal loud self he is in these podcasts, but I'm sure he'll chime in with words of wisdom. Next up we got the Stream Emperor, Plucka, also known as Gaines, who is now number 2 on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle speed run. How's it going on your end there?
I'm 2.
He's 2.
It's going great.
And last up, we have the Stream Prime Minister, Yellow Squirrel, Roger. How goes it?
It's okay.
How goes Goose?
No, now we're throwing out that nickname.
No, the game.
You were talking about the game you were playing yesterday.
Yeah.
That was an interesting game. Very boring, but...
And, of course, me, the Stream Peasant, Keith here, with, not really doing much in the stream game. But, I'm trying. So, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Let's start off with the State of Play and inside Xbox. That just went down, so... any thoughts? Any hot takes from it?
No. This PlayStation's version of a Nintendo Direct. I mean, I'd rather watch that than whatever the heck Microsoft just did. They talked for like a good 40 minutes and showed gameplay for like 10 minutes.
I think they were still talking when I left.
They were, actually. I don't know. They went back to like an old game they were showing. You didn't miss anything. Mm-hmm. Besides the Last of Us 2 release date, but...
For Xbox?
For PlayStation.
No. Oh, that was big. Like, how did they pull that off?
Nah, I'll say it. I don't know.
They did announce the xCloud beta. That was interesting.
Yeah, that
free beta?
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of what they really wanted to talk about, but I guess they just threw some games in there. They want to talk about Gears 5 and how that would be accessible on their Xbox Game Pass, so... I think more so they wanted to talk about the xCloud, but just decided to throw some other little things in here. It was long-winded, cringy as hell at times, and really drawn out. But yeah, other than that, I thought they got their point across. I think they wanted filler, and they went with too much filler.
Yeah, but
they look like what's that show? The TV channel that always is selling things on the TV.
Shopping Home Network.
I don't know if that's it. Where they're always like, you have 20 minutes to buy this.
Yeah, that's the home shopping network.
That's exactly what the whole Xbox State of Play thing was. They're like, in 10 minutes, we're going to release this game. And I was just like, just talk about the game. And it's cool, release, nice, but yeah.
So we did see Last of Us February of next year, so they're sticking to their model of Death Stranding will get November, December, January, and then they'll punch out the next PlayStation exclusive title. So they're still sticking to that model. I'm like really shocked that it's coming out a month before Final Fantasy VII. I kind of thought no one was gonna jump out there with a big title near that. I guess it's different demographics, but.
You said it comes out a month before?
Yeah, it's like a month before, because Final Fantasy VII is March 20.
A month is a long time, though.
Yeah, I was about to say it's
especially for Last of Us. I mean, it's not a game that should take you a month to beat.
True.
It's an adventure game.
Unless they're planning on doing DLC, but I don't see them releasing DLC within a month of the game releasing.
Even if they did, like, that game might take you a week to beat, and that's if you play it, like, 3 hours a day or something. Like, I don't see it being long of a game.
I will say, I think it'll hold over until the next big game, which is Final Fantasy VII, unless that gets the Kingdom Hearts treatment.
We'll see. I don't think it gets
same,
Kingdom
same
Hearts
studio,
treatment,
so same people are working on it, so we'll see.
Nah.
He can't stand the wait any longer.
So to hop back to Xbox, Roger, what do you think about the whole xCloud announcement and the two different sides? I guess you had one where you can stream straight from Xbox, and the other side of streaming straight from your console.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's weird that they started out with because it's not even like anywhere for the stream. It's more mobile. They're hitting first. That's what the open beta is for next month. Like you have to wait for the actual console one. That's still not released.
Right.
Which I guess they're trying to hit it home that you can stream anywhere. Like trying to start that, especially with Stadia coming out soon. I think that's why they were probably moving that direction. I did enjoy I don't even think they showed anything for it. It was just a guy talking, all I remember.
No, I think they showed off. It could be wrong, but I think they showed off gameplay of Halo 5.
Yeah, I was going to say they mentioned Halo was the
Gears
first.
5?
Yeah, so Halo 5 would be the first. They said Gears 5 will come later on, but Halo 5 will be like the first one.
But it is cool they're using the Xbox controller Bluetooth for your phones.
Yeah.
So if you have that, that's good. That was the first question they ask you when you sign up for the beta is you have that and make sure you have 5 megahertz or whatever the Wi-Fi. For some reason I completely blanked on the value of that number. Or if you do mobile, it was like you had to have 10 megabits down or something like that.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that's going to perform because that doesn't sound like a lot. So I'm curious how it'll work with just cell data.
I was wondering about that because he had mentioned that in the U.S. they were working with T-Mobile, so I was wondering maybe for the beta you had to have T-Mobile to get into the beta.
No, they asked you what a provider you had. I think they're I think they're doing that to scope it out to try to hit enough people that's separated out.
I mean, T-Mobile would be great for the gaming aspect. Like Terry said, in some rural places, like service is going to be spotty, so it wouldn't help you there. But like if you're in a city or in a populated area, T-Mobile will have great service, and T-Mobile doesn't charge you just no overages. Like you literally can use as much data every month as you want. So even if you have the One Plus package, I believe. I think that's the one I have. You have unlimited data on your phone, and you have unlimited hotspot. So. I mean, I don't know any other service provider that does that.
AT&T does, but they don't use hotspot though.
That's a service provider, Terry.
So, moving on from there, we had a comment on a Final Fantasy VII video.
You had a comment.
You had a comment.
That was your video.
From Tangible Mammal, who essentially said that everything is made for money. So, I feel like I could have typed a book, but it'd been much easier to just talk it out. So, Tangible Mammal.
On the video he'll never see.
On the video you may or may not be watching.
I was like calling this man out on the video. What's wrong with you?
I'm not calling him out.
He's famous now. You just called him out to 116 people.
Oh, yeah, we are at 116.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about money grabs, right? So, money grab, to me, and I guess everyone may or may not give their example or opinion on what a money grab is. That for me is something like the Mega Man X Legacy Collection. I enjoyed it, but it's just a direct port with some upgraded visuals, but they didn't fix any glitches that you could still do in the game or anything like that. It was literally, hey, let's take the NES version or whatever, just, make it look pretty and then put it out for money. There was no fixing of anything, no quality of life improvements or anything like that. It was just a port pretty much for money. A lot of people argue that a lot of HD remasters are like of this ilk that Kingdom Hearts. But that essentially is what I was talking about in that video in terms of money grab. Did I miss anything I'm pretty sure some money grab tendencies that exist that I didn't really key in on.
I like his money grab motion.
Yes.
Money grab. Money grab.
Doesn't look like he's grabbing money. That's a grab he uses for other things.
I mean, I think it was pretty much straightforward. The comment was interesting. That's what I'll say. But I mean, of course, everything that is made to get money. But I mean, in this instance, it was more so like, of course, Kingdom Hearts is the worst of the worst at this. They have released Kingdom Hearts 5 times. 5 different times, I want to say.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, of course, you have the originals on PlayStation 2. Then they remastered those originals into 1.5 and 2.5 separate discs again on PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Then they included them together on PlayStation 3. And did the exact same thing on PlayStation 4.
Which Terry owns them all.
No, I don't own it on PlayStation. I wasn't on the PlayStation 3 here. I was the one sole person on Xbox 360 out of all these 3. Well, except for Keith.
What?
Wait.
We all had 360.
No, Terry, you did have you bought the PS3 one.
I bought it
because you played it on my PS3.
Yes, for like $2, but I didn't have a PlayStation 3 when it first came out to buy the game.
I just get ignored.
I thought he said that he didn't buy it. Roger said you own them all.
No.
Which one don't you own?
I don't have 1.5 on PlayStation 3.
I thought you bought the double disc.
No, I bought 2.5.
Oh, okay.
It's confusing.
Yeah, it's very.
I was making a joke. I just assumed he had them all.
I just remember him asking me to use my PlayStation.
But like,
well, I mean, we all lived together at that same time, so it was like kind of like,
I just went
same house.
PlayStation at that time. But like, that's in my case, that's like a money grab. Like they released that game so many different times, and I get the whole fact of making sure it stays relevant so that when Kingdom Hearts 3 was officially announced and then released 6 years later, maybe 7 years later, that here's the game again, and then they did it for Xbox because Xbox never had it, and they're bringing Kingdom Hearts 3 to Xbox. That kind of makes sense. That's not a money grab. That's people that haven't played the game before. Xbox was like, yo, bring it to us, and we'll allow our team to kind of get it, and then we'll push it out to our consumers, and then that way when Kingdom Hearts 3 drops, it's not like, why are we buying on Xbox? That one I'm okay with. But the one where they release it 5-6 different times on PlayStation, no. I bought it, but still, no. So yeah, to me that's the money.
The prime tactic of the money grab. Mm-hmm. How much he trashed it, but at that last moment, I bought it. Those words. That's why the money grabs exist.
It's like Call of Duty every year. Every year we hear something stupid about Call of Duty.
Or Madden.
Madden,
same way.
I feel like Call of Duty's a tad bit different, mainly because there's 3 different development teams working on it. So at least each one of those teams is getting time to work on it.
Now it's 2.
Well, yeah, now it's down to 2, but
Sledgehammer is out.
Yeah.
I think they're now like
I think they help Treyarch now or something like that.
That's what they do now.
Yeah.
But like Call of Duty does the same thing. They're like, hey, here's this new innovative game. And you're like, oh, look, I still see like your other game behind it. But still, there's new things here that aren't new. Here's just a new game, though. Every year. And people still go buy it, so...
Yeah. Well, Assassin's Creed was the same way for quite some time. After 3, then, Black Flag, Unity, and Syndicate all just reeked of pretty much using same structures and all this stuff over and over again. And there was no passion behind it. It's another element of the money grab. There's no passion behind it. You don't feel drawn in to it.
Okay, I'll give him this motion for drawing in. I'll give him this motion for drawing in the Dave Chappelle.
That motion could be other things as well.
But I was thinking Dave Chappelle thing when.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
So we doing money grabbing. Roger, you all right with the money? I mean, not necessarily okay with it, but.
Like a lot of publishers do that. I mean, we talked about sports games a little bit, which it seems like if you miss a couple of years and then play I didn't play Madden for I think like 3 or 4 years one time and played it, and it was like, oh, not much really have changed. Mm-hmm. If you played every year, you could justify that, oh, all this changed, all this, but when you skip it, you're like, yeah, I feel like I got updated rosters and a touch up of graphics.
Yeah.
So that is there, but the remakes I think it depends on the remake, kind of like you hit with the Mega Man. Those almost felt emulated, I guess, which it works because you got the fan base that wants to play them again. I don't know how else to explain it, but like I bought Shadow Colossus remake, and that felt like the same controls, just updated graphics. But I was a fan of the game, so it hit me enough to buy it. So that's all they were going for. And I don't know how well the sales of those last. Like, I don't feel like many people are buying the Mega Man thing now anymore.
Well, I mean, there's low effort.
But that's what I was getting
low level
at.
effort to make it, so it's
you're hitting people's nostalgia for that moment.
Yeah. I mean, prime example of money grab is the whole virtual console on the Switch. Well, not on the Switch, but on the 3DS, the Wii. Was it on the Wii U? I didn't have a Wii U.
think it.
Thank you. I think it was, yeah, because I think that's when they first were like, here's like the virtual console.
Okay, and then they separated it on the Switch, and for some reason there are 2 different apps on the Switch.
Well, the Switch, I'll grant it, is free. I mean, it's just part of that $20 year, which
is the cheapest yearly membership that I can think of.
But actually, like the one video I did talking about like they probably would make more money if they sold them individually.
Yeah.
I thought about that, and I was like, I was very wrong about that because you're only gonna buy so many individual titles. Like, say for instance, Keith. Like if PlayStation offers something for $20, like Final Fantasy VII, Keith's gonna buy that because he loves Final Fantasy VII. You'd buy it.
You would buy it for $20. Don't act like that.
If Super Nintendo, or the Switch got Super Mario RPG, and they were like, "Oh, Super Nintendo, we're gonna charge you $15 for this game, or $10," I'd be like, "I'll buy it because it's my favorite game."
Yeah.
But if you could charge me $3 every month if you do it month to month, like for some reason I do, or what is it, $20 for the whole year?
Like $20 for it.
Yeah. Somehow they get $36 out of me, almost double the payment because I'm too lazy to give them $20 up front for some odd reason.
Go to Best Buy and buy a $20 gift card.
Yes. No, the most important part of that part was go to.
Your Amazon Prime gives you free 6 months.
No, it's a year.
Not yet, but you got to claim the first 6 months. And
first 9 months, then it's
9 months.
Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh. You know what's funny? I got it. You know what's funny? I got an email from Amazon today saying I have unused Prime benefits, and I like, you know, I can read an email without opening it. It was like, you have unused Prime Ben, and I was like,
we're affiliates.
Delete.
Twitch Prime here.
I didn't even use it. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, but I pay a lot more money, and I'll pay that every year. So think about it. Like in 3 years, you got $100 out of me. I would have never spent $100 in old games.
This just goes to show, if you get games to sign up for a subscription,
I'll pay month to month.
You'll pay month to month. You won't even know.
Just like PlayStation Network.
Yeah, right. You don't pay month.
You don't pay month to month for that, do you?
Nah, they hit me for the 60 every.
What is that?
I don't even know when it renews.
I mean, you can get it for 30. Quick pro tip for those who are looking for Xbox Gold or PlayStation Plus or whatever. Every Black Friday and E3 time, they drop it down to 30. Every single time. So get it then.
just wait for our Black Friday video that we might do.
Yeah.
We'll give you all the great deals.
And Roger will follow up with White Friday.
Where things are raised. I'll hit them with the Cards Against Humanity. They doubled the price of their game on Black Friday.
Alright, we digress. Games, continue on with
But that's it. I mean, we pretty much touched on it pretty well. What a money grab is. It's just a low level of effort game that people know is going to sell based on either nostalgia or its name alone.
So Link's Awakening. You're probably the only person I can ask this question to. Do you think that was a money grab, or do you think that was more so just like a...
I wouldn't say it's a money grab just because, for one aspect, Link's Awakening came out on the very first Game Boy. So the differences of how that game, like, that's not just a polish.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they pretty much reused almost the entire game. Like, it really didn't change much, but I mean, from the way it looks, like, you could tell they had to build it again from the ground up, like, graphically and all that type of stuff. So, in that case, I wouldn't say it's a money grab.
Secret of Mana. Secret Mana is the same. It came out on the Super Nintendo.
I've never played Secret of Mana.
It didn't look that way on the Super Nintendo.
Link's Awakening.
I will say
it is amazing.
I mean, just like the subtle graphics, and this is probably just us going on a tangent that will end very fast. I mean, the graphics, did you see the Mario Easter egg? Did you see the
graphics?
Shit. The Mario Easter egg. Have you finally seen it from the first dungeon?
Yeah, but that was that was in the Game Boy one too.
Oh, it was? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, the little like 2D scroller type those were in the original. The original was the same way. They threw like a lot of different I guess licensed properties from Nintendo in there without Nintendo's permission because it was for the Game Boy, and apparently Nintendo didn't care about the Game Boy back then. So the developers were like, you know what, we'll throw anything in here because it's a Game Boy game. So they never apparently got permission to use them. But
I was about to say they must have got permission this time.
It's so weird playing that game. I know this has nothing to do with the topic, but it's weird playing the game again because when you play it, you realize how much that game influenced like all the other Zeldas after it. Like people hate Zelda 2 because it was a 2D scroller, but yet Link's Awakening has that 2D aspect in it. When you, granted, it's very short in the dungeons, but it's still there. Like doing bomb arrows, all that stuff. Like all that stuff originated there that you use in Ocarina of Time. The Ocarina itself originated there. Yet you use it in Ocarina of Time. You use it in Majora's. Every other Zelda title after that was pretty much influenced by that game, which is crazy to me. But okay, next subject.
I just had to bring that up. I feel like that was probably a good thing to ask.
So it's gonna be like a multi-layered thing, but
oh god,
we're gonna start with multi-layer.
Do we need to put this in between the show?
You need 3 layers for multi-layer. That's
so NBA 2K20, what is it, 20 now? Yeah, 2K20. Yeah. So I don't know if you all have seen it, but a trailer dropped and Idris Elba's in it, Rosario Dawson's in it. My man Winston from The New Girl. I'm so sorry I forgot your name. I doubt you watching this. You don't care. But
I hope that's the first
later.
You don't know my name? Ticklefoot.
But you have so many just big name actors in this main story campaign. For
it's not a story.
It's not a story.
Is this too much?
No, they've been going down this path.
I'm saying in sports game, is this too much? I know Madden has it. For it. I know FIFA has it in some capacity. I don't know how extensive these things are, but is it annoying to go through this to just go and have your My Player and just to be like, I just want to go play games? Like,
I don't know how far they're going to take this one, but I would say it originated, at least for me anyway, back on 2K16.
Yeah,
you had your best friend, you're getting out the hood. Weirdly enough, it didn't matter like what color character you made. Your family was always black, like full black. Roger made this old white man, and his sister was black. His parents were like just pure black, and it's just like you couldn't even change the palettes and be like, if they pick black, black. If they pick white, white. I mean, I don't feel like that was too hard, especially since I think Spike Lee directed that one. Yeah. So it was like, you put money into it. You couldn't at least give us 2 families.
Yeah.
And of course, his old white man talked with the super black slang of a young black 18, 19-year-old man. So, yeah, they all had the same exact voices. But yeah, it was the same thing. But once you got past like your first year, the story just stops. Yeah. Like there is no more cutscenes of story. It never even references it again. It just.
I'm trying to remember if you could cut it off. For some reason, I thought there was an option after the first year, and I can't remember what it said.
I don't remember, but I just know after the first year it stops, and it just goes into like a franchise My Player mode.
I was about to say just normal My Player game.
You practice and you play your games. Yeah. You don't. There's no story. I don't know if this is going to continue further, but
the story was pretty bad on 16 because your best friend just like disappears for a while, and then all of a sudden he's like back, and you're like, oh, I don't remember you.
Like, he like backstabs you or something as well.
I think he tried to date your sister or something.
I don't know.
I mean, your sister have a weird thing.
Crazy.
But yeah, this one's probably gonna suck too. I mean,
but if they did fix the story throughout, I think it would be interesting. It just provides a little more because some people just don't like playing game after game. So having a little story would be helpful. The problem is, do you make a 20-year story or something like that to play through all franchise, which that's going to be horribly long, or do you do like what we experienced was like the first year was story and then here's franchise?
And this one, it seems like they're trying to push the more than an athlete.
Yeah, I saw LeBron curating the story.
Yeah, and you seen the guy, what's his name? Idris Elba. He's the coach, and I guess forgot what happened, but somehow your player, takes a stand by not playing in the game, and you're supposed to be the best player, so they lose. Anyone who's seen the trailer knows this, so it's not like I'm ruining something for you, But and I mean, he's like, you're supposed to take us. He's like, I am taking a stand by sitting down. So it's like, okay.
I don't see the point of adding this. I mean, I guess I understand why they're adding a story mode into sports games now, because I guess they're tired of people just buying a game just to play the iPlayer.
No, they're not. They just don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, no, this is dumb. They shouldn't be doing that.
They do it in Madden too. So.
I mean, people buy 2K20 and they buy Madden. Of course, they like to do the whole franchising thing. You know, you get people together to play like a bunch of seasons and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it's my player that everybody buys it for. Like, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why. I didn't buy any 2K game.
Really?
I played 2K16, but it was free.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah,
yeah, when they gave it away for free before 2K17 came out.
I think I bought.
I still played that my player.
The last 2K I bought was probably 2K10.
I bought 2K19 because it was on sale for the Switch for like $4.
Oh God, I bet you played shitty.
I was amazed.
Oh, played good.
It was better than what I expected. I won't say good, but I was like, oh, I can actually play this. Like,
I don't think I would ever try to buy a game like that for the Switch.
You expected to turn the Switch on and it just says "Why" on the screen. Like, why did you think I could play this?
So I won't hype you up saying it was good, but it was like I was shocked that I had such a low bar and it went over my.
But if I'm not mistaken, right now 2K20 is getting horrible reviews at the moment.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, everybody is trashing 2K. But not just for that. They're trashing the entirety of the game.
Well, 2K is very, very, very animation based. There's no fluidity to 2K.
You mean money based?
No, it's animation based. Like when you play, like you know what's going to happen to a player. Like once he starts an animation, you know how it finishes. There's no like
to get those animations, you have to spend money.
No, I mean like dribbling the ball.
Yeah, I know. Just to dribble the ball in the game, you have to spend money.
Oh, you can buy different ones?
You can buy V-Bucks to get more.
It's always been like that for your player, for your my player. Well, people do it for the freaking shoes and stuff in the game, like to buy the jerseys, the clothes.
Yeah.
And now it's supposed to be like a whole town. Kind of like an open world town that you walk around in, so you can like go to the shoe shop, like shoe place or whatever. I don't freaking know.
Yeah. All right, what's the next part
of
this
multiplayer? So on the flip side of all of this, do you feel racing games need this to survive? Well, I don't know. Racing games must be doing okay because there's still new Need for Speed is supposed to be coming out soon, and
Need for Speed actually had a story.
No, it didn't.
That's why I'm doing this.
We just trashed 2K. I played 10 2K stories before I played 5 minutes of Need for Speed story. You don't remember Most Wanted? That storyline?
I remember. That's what I'm saying. Like, racing games, I don't feel like they need one, but they have one anyway.
I guess with like the rise of Fast and Furious and all that, I'm uncertain if that's why Need for Speed is going the route that they're going.
Fast and the Furious and Grand Theft Auto.
Wasn't Need for Speed based off of Fast and Furious?
Well, no.
Was it?
No.
Or in a way?
The very first ones weren't. They were just car racing games. Then the third one, I believe, added Hot Pursuit.
But that was still like Arcadius Simulator. Yeah. I would say maybe Underground started to exaggerate a little bit more.
Underground was like when the first Fast and the Furious came out. So you could see they was adding in like that street racing element. Because Underground, you could customize your car.
Yeah. And that's when you start drifting and all that.
Midnight Club. All that started happening. When Fast and Furious came out. And but then after that, Most Wanted was kind of like Fast and Furious. It was just illegal street racing type of stuff.
So if I could do cool stuff like in Fast and Furious and Need for Speed, like push missiles out the way and all that, I mean, that would be an interesting story.
I don't know. I mean, people buy racing games to race other people. Let's just leave it at that.
I'll say I play a lot of racing games and I don't mind that there's no story. It just never felt in there. I don't know if NASCAR switched to that story mode though. I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember the last time I even bought a NASCAR game. I actually did buy one, but I was
I bought one back on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, that's the
one. It was I think it was just called NASCAR Racing. You could put in the code and you could shoot paintballs out your car and they could wreck other cars.
That was NASCAR, I think like 2000 or something. Then there was like NASCAR Heat, which you could shoot tires. I remember that.
Huh.
Whoa.
But yeah, story modes, I don't know. They just don't seem fitting. Like, that does seem like it's just online is the fun of that. Or you just grind in Gran Turismo and enjoy yourself doing that.
That's what I used to do. Gran Turismo 3, A-Spec for the PS2.
Yep.
Pretty much get your licenses, and you have to race in 24-hour races. So real 24 hours. I actually raced one. Fucking hours. I got an Indy car though. That shit was hot.
Screw
That
that.
was
I'm
so
not doing
beast.
that. I'll say most racing games don't need a story mode. I mean, if they
really don't.
If they have them, it's probably like Mario Kart's doesn't have a story mode, really, does it?
No,
I don't think it does. I think it was like more so you just went into like a one-player mode to unlock something.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's no story to it.
It's the Mario Kart.
Yeah.
It's a much different beast than Need for Speed.
I mean, yes. Well, Need for Speed is more
every
like
kind
a
of racing game, and as we can think of Mario Kart.
Need for Speed is arcade.
Game, so.
It's an arcade style racer, whereas like I would say, Gran Turismo, Forza, those are like racing simulations. Like
they're supposed to be careful with that too, because Forza Horizon's more Need for Speed-ish.
Oh, really? Okay.
Forza.
Well, I know Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo is a simulator.
Yeah.
Like that's pure racing game, no arcade stuff in it.
But those are like the two hits right now. I mean, Forza has been at the top for I don't know
That's
how long.
the flagship Xbox.
I haven't even seen a Gran Turismo game in I don't know how long. Since they tried
They did the PS4 and had the VR with it.
The one with the racing helmet on the cover? I forgot what it was called. It was
a while.
The PS4 one?
Yeah.
They added VR later. Or no, it was when they were talking about, that's right, they were going to push a patch.
I forgot what that thing was called. I was actually looking forward to it, but it wasn't. It was promising, but then by the time it launched, it was like very bare bones. It wasn't much to it.
Was that the one that you could buy for like cheap and buy the rest? I can't remember.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just remember it got pushed back several times, and then
they kept showing it off at like little events, but it never, like you said, it kept getting pushed back. So no, they don't need a damn story.
So I guess we'll end it the way we started. Xbox and PlayStation. PlayStation teased that the new PS5 has something in it that's just gonna blow people out of the water. It's just gonna be ridiculous. What is it that they could be teasing, or more so, what is it that you want out of the PS5 that you feel that no one else has really spoken on just yet?
I'll say the only PlayStation 5 news I've heard is them trying to do the combating energy or environment thing. They're putting an environment
combating climate change,
something like that. It just recently talked about it like a couple days ago.
You're gonna make them out of what?
I don't know. They said there's gonna be a lot of energy saving kind of content in there.
The consoles are solar powered. It's like stick them near the window.
I'll be so mad.
I was like, they haven't talked much about the PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
it all runs in our server.
Somebody get mad at you, instead of unplugging it, just like cover it.
I was like, we don't know anything about the PlayStation 5 except for the specs right now and the leaks of what it looks like.
Yeah, that V buck. It looks like a V buck like without the back.
And then like the bottom of
energy saving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're trying to do the energy saving thing. They want to be friendly for the environment.
It's greater than an Xbox. Unless you sit it to the other side, then it's less than Xbox.
I'm more so hoping that they revitalize the Vita somehow, some way, or I don't know if you call it something different or what you would do in this case, but if it somehow was brought back.
PlayStation hated the Vita.
It's the Nintendo Switch. That's the Vita now. That's what we have now.
I think it's hard to do any mobile at this point because of phones. Like the Switch just works because you actually have a console / thing.
Yes, it's amazing.
Like
I have never owned a Switch and I still don't, but Roger let me use his and it was very great.
They don't need to bring the Vita
very
back.
Very great.
The Vita and the PSP
I'm hoping for something like that from PlayStation. I really love.
They had their moment. The PSP and the Vita.
Yeah.
Like
that was
what I'm saying. Bring it back.
No,
but give it to me for free with the PlayStation 5. Yeah.
Whoa.
Now Keith has lost his mind thinking.
The PSP and the Vita, they were great during their time. Ahead of their time, but they were great during those moments. I don't think it's something they should have right now.
They were a good idea, but a bad idea at the same time. And the reason why I said it is because when it came out, obviously it was PS3 generation. PS3 was out. The PSP was kind of touted as almost being right there with the PS3 graphically. Like you could play those games that obviously look way better than the Nintendo, DS and 3DS and 2DS, all that type of stuff. Like it looked better than those games. But I feel like they were too close graphically to where you were just really stressing the teams to be able to have to make the PS3 one, and even you recruit a different team, or they kind of split and say, okay, we also make the PSP, but we don't want the PSP one to look too much drastically different than the PS3 because we're touting how great things look on it. Whereas with the Nintendo, when they had GameCube, Wii, you also had like your pretty much your DS or whatever. They were two totally different consoles. They weren't even supposed to be close. They didn't even work together. They were complete. Like the PSP was like, oh, you can remote play on your PS3. They just tried to marry it to the PS3 so much, and Nintendo was like, no, you have a console, and you have another small console that we make other completely different games for, and you can use that. And then people was like, I love you, Nintendo, because you're the handheld I grew up on. I trust you in my hands.
So what can the PlayStation 5 bring to the table? Is that the question?
Pretty much. We see Xbox making moves to do their xCloud thing, and that seems to be the route that they're going. Kind of going to the cloud. We know what Google's doing. PlayStation's the only one who hasn't really said a whole lot, but yet they keep putting out leaks saying
they're already going.
We got something.
Yeah, they're going.
They're on Azure, Azure cloud stuff working.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the whole point of the team up between Microsoft and PlayStation was so they can get that cloud information, so they can start building on their end.
They had a leak actually come out, which is why I say that they're not doing a PS Vita. That they actually had I think it was a trademark or a patent or whatever they were putting in for a controller that had a space for a screen. But it was not a screen there. It was a space for a screen, which I think is basically meant to hold phones.
I hope not.
So that basically you could do cloud gaming straight to your phone, but it slides into a PlayStation-esque controller.
I feel heavy.
I don't know. I mean, phones really aren't that heavy.
I know, but just adding like something like that, it seems like it'll be heavy. I mean, I guess it'll be for games that you want to transfer from like cloud to cloud, I guess, or whatever the heck it's gonna end up doing.
I mean,
I don't know.
Probably just to sign into whatever their service is and play on the go. I mean, I don't think it would be that bad. You just have to tote around a little controller because you already tote your phone anyway. So
I don't know. The only thing I can wish for PlayStation is faster loading time. So I guess whatever.
Well, apparently load times are supposed to be lightning fast.
Well,
SSD.
SSD.
That's all.
Give me an SSD.
If it's SSD, I'm not gonna be impressed.
No, they said it's some new SSD tech that they've come up with, and with Spider-Man loaded up in like 0.08 seconds or something like that. And
look, as long as I can get from space orbit to the tower, and as fast as I can do on PC, I'll be happy.
If I can get from the loading screen in Destiny to the tower before the fucking sun comes up the next day, I'll be happy. It's like I gotta put in like an advance notice. Like, hey, I'm getting on Destiny tomorrow, guys. Start it up. Wait at the damn screen.
I think that's like almost every PlayStation game at this point. After they get like a couple years on, and then this.
And this happens with the Pro.
It does happen with the Pro.
Build SSD in there and then.
I'm not doing nothing for that damn thing. They made me mad. And on top of that, I don't want them to show how fast it loads these old games. God damn it, because these old games, it should crush these old games. Yeah. But what happens when you take advantage of all that extra hardware that it has? What is it going to load like then?
Yeah, like Last of Us 2. Show me Last of Us 2 loading in or something.
Yeah. I
mean, that's a down the road game that's been built for whatever generation they're building it for. I don't know if they're building it for future PlayStation or the current one.
It had to be this one.
Last of Us didn't have any load screens, so Last of Us wasn't too bad in terms of loading. No. It was just the first load screen that you hit.
I'm not saying
everything
I
after
think
that
what they
you
did
load.
They hid it behind cutscenes.
Yeah.
Well, I think as cutscenes were playing, they were loading up what was coming next, which is a smart way to do it.
I mean, that is smart. You already have something that's already been generated way beforehand, and then as the game starts to load in, you can just do it behind that.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Video.
It's like, here's the video. Like, VLC starts up in the background. I don't know, something like that. Just give me a game. Give me something that allows the system to process everything faster than it does now. Because we've had a PlayStation 4 for 3 years.
Longer than that.
Nah, it came out in 13.
Yeah.
So then the PlayStation Pro came out
Probably 15.
15?
Yeah.
It's about 4
15
years.
or 16.
So I guess about 4 years now. So I guess this one is ending of the legs. What is it? 10 years is the.
It's the ending of its legs.
Yeah.
Its last legs. God.
What is the console
like
lifetime? 10 years?
PlayStation right now.
Nah, PlayStation is cool. Just
Consoles was a stretch with the 10 years though.
Yeah,
I
mean,
they
any
admit it.
piece of technology,
Yeah.
if you're going to come up and say, this is going to last you 10 years, it's like, yeah, but it's going to suck after year 5 because everything else is going to go past it. I mean,
It's still shocking it holds up though, counting it has been such a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like 5 years.
I'm just still, it's still good that it's still popular.
I don't feel like it holds up if you compare it to PC.
Well,
But
that's
then-
always going to be the argument.
But
no matter
since
what.
none of the other consoles, like nobody else, it's weird how they do that. Like Xbox and PlayStation are supposed to be these fierce competitors. No one really jumps out too far, like to be like Xbox say, "Oh, we got this out for 3 years." Hey, push like Scorpion, push something crazy out that just crushes it right now, and no one does that. It's like they almost
Push
like
the console, like their current generational console.
no the competition. Like if you notice, they always launch like right by each other.
Yeah,
Well, I
they always
feel like
do the same launch.
Somebody might come out like a little bit first, maybe a month or two first. No one's ever like a year or two ahead to where they're like, hey, look, we know we just released this 3 years ago. Instead of releasing a slightly updated version, no, we're really going to push it. And they have things like the PC to go off. Like they have things that's way more powerful than what's in the console. So it's not like they have to, recreate the wheel and figure out what can we do to make it better. It's like stuff out there you can use.
I feel like at
PCs
this
don't
point,
update
consumer.
as fast either. Like CPUs is generally yearly, but GPUs are like 2-year cycles now. So it's not
That's
super
still a lot faster.
Yeah,
than
it's
the console.
faster.
But yeah, I feel like they know the consumers are really trying to go out every so many years and buy something just to keep playing.
But I mean, if you do that, you can get everyone to your console because it will be the next
But
best thing, and it'll be nothing else.
Xbox and PC always have the issue of, do I have the exclusive catalog to bring people over here? And that's where Sony gets to be lazy. They got the catalog, so it's like, you're gonna come here if you want this exclusive catalog. It's so much over here, and that's where Nintendo doesn't have to really do a whole lot either.
Well,
they like, we got a catalog, just come on down. But Xbox and PC, I feel like struggle.
You know our catalog for 20 years.
Yeah,
Mario, Zelda,
it's like
Pokemon.
You know what it is. So
and granted, consoles do market the you buy it once and it does last for a while.
Yeah,
that's
kind of their shtick or whatever.
Where PC you dump loads of money every year.
Try new fans.
Yeah, but like Xbox and PlayStation, I'm not sure. I might have seen it, what you're talking about, but this is something different. Like Xbox and PlayStation, they do the same release dates. They do the same. Now, here's that, like you said, the month and a half. Oh yeah, here's a slimmer version that's probably just that's faster than the previous one.
And then the other company does the same thing.
Yeah.
And then then here comes the PlayStation Slim.
They're not competitors.
And, look, Xbox put out the new Xbox. Oh, PlayStation has this new Xbox. Here comes the Xbox One Elite. Here comes the PlayStation Pro. I
just don't think Xbox has the catalog to push people in, and the fact that they're not punching out. If Halos were coming out and were still as popular as once before, I feel like more Xboxes would sell. But when Halo is the only thing that you really have backing you, it's why they had to bring Gears out the deathbed and bring that back.
Anymore. I just don't like that there's no competition. Like, I feel like that they've all gotten together and realized, all by Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft as Xbox for their console portion, that their most successful strategy is to maintain what they have. That it's those three giants, and it won't let anyone else in. That's why Nintendo probably never ever goes after them graphically. Think about it. It makes no sense. It's not like Nintendo couldn't get the hardware to compete graphically, but it's probably like, that's not our lane, and if we stay in this lane, we can stay successful here because there's no competition here. It's just us. And then PlayStation and Xbox is like kind of like Coke and Pepsi. Pepsi will go on sale 1 week. Coke will not go on sale that week. Coke will wait till the following week, go on sale, and Pepsi will come off sale. They share the same display places, but they don't put them up on the same week. So you're not really competing. you're coexisting by killing all the other competition because they can't compete with both of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like we digressed completely from the question.
What
was you going to say?
The Nintendo Switch Lite, the Pokemon edition with the 2 new Pokemon legendaries. One side's like, it's gray, but one side the buttons and the analog stick is like this, almost like an icy blue. The other side's like a red.
I think I have seen it.
That shit was hot.
Yeah, I'm curious how the Lite is doing.
They're trashing it a little bit. Just because it still has the same issues that the Nintendo Switch has.
Yeah, so
it is the Nintendo Switch, that's why.
Yeah, I know.
In terms of the Joy-Con, you mean? Or okay.
Or the analog.
But it's probably the same board, just put in a different plastic container.
Yeah, one that doesn't detach. It doesn't have...
Yeah, it doesn't detach and you can't hook it up into the docking.
Yeah, it doesn't dock to... It's literally...
It's like the Nintendo 2DS.
Yeah. Except for it's a Switch.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people buy that system. Why not just buy the Switch?
Was it cheaper?
It's cheaper.
$50 cheaper.
That could help.
I feel like if you're buying a console and $50 is your yay or nay, you shouldn't buy that console.
Yeah, nah.
A parent wanting to buy something for their kid.
They could buy a used Switch for $200 though.
I was about to say, I bought my used Switch for about...
Or they could buy the new Nintendo Switch, which looks just like the old Switch, and the only way you know you got the new one is by running the damn serial number on the bottom to make sure it's the new one. That's how close they have no differentiating factors of how they look.
I'm sure we'll get an updated Switch here.
You get an extra hour of battery life.
Ah,
yeah. Because everyone hates, external batteries apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this entire podcast is ridiculous.
Yes, we've
gone everywhere.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We're a podcast.
Get control of this, please.
Well then, I guess we'll end it there, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Stream King, the Stream Emperor, Stream Prime Minister.
Where in the world did
and the Stream Peasant?
Where did that come from, actually? Can you answer that question? Sign us out first.
I was just sitting there, really. But, alright, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this long rant. Be sure to hit that notification button, subscription button, and we'll see you on the next one. As usual.
Good it keeps jerked us off from that tangent we was on, though. We really got out of... Continue, Keith. You jerked us away from the tangent we was on.
Jerk away.
Yeah. Be easy.
But he also jerked us off of it. Like we were no longer on it. We were off.
Yep. Seems we are time threshold going.
Alright, we're gonna end it here. Let's go.
Yeah. That was the.
Subscribe to the channel.